Bueno, estamos aquí presente Sofía, mi traductora, que es fenomenal. Vamos a llamar a Yaphet Kotto. No sé, supongo que ya lo conoceréis, pero bueno, para los que no sepan quién es el señor Parker en en la primera película de Harry en el octavo pasajero. Y nada, quedamos con él en llamarlo a través de una llamada porque, aunque le comenté de hacerlo por webcam, decidieron que no era viable, entonces lo respetamos y le haremos una llamada. Entonces, le he comentado a Sofía que le haga una introducción para que sepa que ahora lo que haré primero es presentarlo y luego ya con las preguntas. ¿Mm? Entonces vamos a proceder a llamarlo y a ver cómo se desenvuelve todo esto. A ver.
¿La trasladas tú y yo traduzco?
Por primero, preséntate
¿Como traductora?
Sí. Y que Luis ahora va a hacer una pequeña presentación. Hello, Mr. Kotto.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Mr. Kotto. I'm Sofia. I'm the translator that works with Luis.
Okay.
And wait, just 2 seconds. Okay. So I will make a brief introduction. Luis will be making an introduction for the community of fans in Spanish. Until he start to shoot all the questions that I will be translating to you, and then I'll translate your answer to Spanish too.
Sí.
Okay, thank you.
Bueno, hago una pequeña presentación para los fans. Yaphet Kotto nació en Nueva York, en la ciudad de los rascacielos, donde la dureza y la competencia están allí a la orden del día. Allí nació Kotto, se crió, luchó hasta conseguir su sueño, ser actor, aunque tuvo una infancia bastante dura, que lograste lo imposible. De hecho, el otro día leí una historia de superación que escribiste en Facebook, donde explicabas cómo conseguiste que se te abrieran las puertas a base de perseverancia, valentía. Sin duda una historia que anima a cualquiera a seguir luchando por sus sueños. Entonces, nada, muchas gracias por estar aquí hoy con nosotros. La verdad es que es todo un honor. Después de conseguir tu primer papel con 25 años, consigues una carrera muy exitosa, convirtiéndote en el malvado Dr. Kananga, en la primera película de Roger Moore como James Bond, y llegaste al papel de Señor Parker. Entonces, empezaría con la primera pregunta de cómo llegó a tus manos el papel de Dennis Parker en Alien.
Yaphet Kotto was born in New York, in the city of skyscrapers, where hardness and competence is the everyday life. And you were born there in New York. You were raised there, and you fight to follow your dream to be an actor. Even if your childhood was harsh, you made the impossible. Luis has recently read a story of separation that you published on Facebook, where you explain how to get the doors open for you with perseverance and braveness. And doubtless, that's a story that makes anyone confident to follow their dreams. So thanks for being with us today. It's a real honor. And when you were 25 years old, you get your first big role, and you are Mr. Kananga, Dr. Kananga, in the first movie of Roger Moore as James Bond. And you were on fire, Mr. Kotto. And after that, the role of Mr. Parker arrived. So the first question would be, how it got to you, the role of Dennis Parker in Alien?
First, let me just say that I feel so badly because my parents are Spanish and African. My first language was Spanish, but it seems that the only time I remember my Spanish, it all comes back to me when I'm in Spain. I was in Spain years ago doing a movie with forget the actress's name now. Ava Gardner, and Omar Sharif, Harim. I was there in Spain for 6 months. When I went there, I thought, oh my God, where's my Spanish? But after the second month came, all of my Spanish came back. Now I feel badly. I can't speak my first language is Spanish. Now I can't speak it. It's unbelievable.
It's completely okay.
Okay.
So let me translate for Luis.
Go ahead.
He feels so sorry because se siente muy mal porque su padre falleció hace un tiempo.
Ostras, lo siento.
Y incluso aunque una de sus lenguas maternas es el español, lo tiene totalmente olvidado y solo lo recuerda cuando está en España.
Vale.
Que de hecho estuve hace un tiempo haciendo una película con Ava Gardner y Omar Harim durante unos 6 meses y al principio se sentía fatal porque no recordaba, dice, ¿dónde está mi español? Y 2 meses después de estar allí, entonces su español empezaba a volver más fluido. Entonces lo primero que dice es que lo siente por su español.
No te preocupes.
Luis says his condolences for the passing of your father.
Yes, my father passed. He was a prince. He was from Africa, Cameroon, in Africa. I was in Spain for 6 months, and when I did not want to leave Spain. Spain is one of the most beautiful countries I've ever experienced. And when Harim was over, I stayed another 4 months. I went everywhere in Spain, every town, every city. We were there for 6 months. I love Spain. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make Spain my home because Spain has a way of creeping up on you. It's just one of the most beautiful countries. No, wait, it is the most beautiful country in the world. I learned so much about African history in Spain. I didn't understand that, but I learned so much. And I rented a castle. Well, I lived in a castle. We called it Castillo de Dracula. And I lived there for 6 months in that castle with Ava Gardner lived there with me. She became one of my roommates. I cannot forget Spain, and I wish I'd have stayed there and lived there. My grandmother spoke Castilian Español. And so did my grandfather from Panama. And when I was there in Spain, it reminded me of my youth when I was growing up. The food, the music, the play. I just miss that country very much.
Dice que muchas gracias, que su padre es de Camerún, en África, pero que cuando él estuvo aquí en España rodando la película no quería irse de España y se quedó 4 meses más después de finalizar el rodaje y que fue a todos lados, que visitó todas las ciudades, todos los pueblos, hizo todo lo que pudo y le da mucho pesar no haber podido hacer de España su casa. Dice que España es el país más bonito del mundo para él, que España tiene una manera de adueñarse de ti, con que la música, las maneras, todo le recuerda a su infancia, y que alquiló un castillo que llamaban el Castillo de Drácula y estuvo 6 meses viviendo en el castillo con Ava Gardner.
Caray. Muy bien. De hecho, descubrí, bueno, cuando intenté averiguar un poco más sobre usted, vi que era hijo de un príncipe, ¿no? Que supongo que es el fallecido, y siento mucho la pérdida de su padre.
Luis says that doing some research on you, he discovered that you were the son of a prince. And
yes.
So that's your, and he wants to say again that so sorry for the loss.
My father was, my family are related to the Royal House of England, even though they don't want to admit it, of what went down between Africa and Cameroon many years ago. I've written a book about it. As a matter of fact, my first experience, not my first, but I had an experience, a UFO experience in Spain. And I remember the first time I had experienced a UFO was when I was 10 years old. And I went to my grandma and told her about it, and she explained it to me about the angels and God and Panama and what it meant. So when I got there in Spain and saw that thing hovering over the house that I was renting, the castle that I was renting, I was really moved, because there in Spain, I found more African culture, more statues, more beliefs. In fact, I cannot remember what city I was in, but I went to a church that blew my mind, because the church was half mosque and half Catholic, and it was a church that everyone visited, of both religions, in the one building. In the one building. That impressed me about it. Nowhere on earth could you experience anything like that in Spain.
So, señor Kotto dice que sí, que su padre era un príncipe y que de hecho su familia está relacionada con la Royal House de Inglaterra, con la Casa Real de Inglaterra, pero que ellos no lo quieren admitir. Y que de hecho escribió un libro sobre eso. Dice que la primera vez que tuvo una experiencia con un ovni fue cuando tenía 10 años y corrió a su abuela y le dijo, y su abuela le contó sobre los ángeles, los dioses y sobre todas las creencias. Y que de hecho cuando estuvo en el castillo y vio un ovni sobrevolando, que se sintió muy conmovido. Y que de hecho en España ha aprendido más sobre África, sobre las culturas y tradiciones y todas las creencias que tenemos en España, ha aprendido más que en cualquier otro sitio.
Muy bien. Muy bien. Bueno, señor Kotto, antes le comentaba el tema de su papel como Parker. Entonces, ¿recuerdas cómo llegó a tus manos esa oportunidad de poder interpretar a ese personaje?
So, going back to the role of Mr. Parker, do you remember how the role ended up in your hands?
The role came to me as a result of, I think, Live and Let Die, and a bunch of other films that I had done. My reputation got me the movie. And I remember when I got the script, I did not have an offer from them to do that movie. I had other offers, but I turned many of those offers down because I didn't want to take the chance of taking another film and then finding out that they want me, but I was busy. So I turned down work for about a year. And I just waited and hoped that it would come my way, and it did. It came just in the nick of time, as a matter of fact. But that's how I got Parker. It was a reputation. When I did Live and Let Die, I got it as a result of doing Across 110th Street with Anthony Quinn. And the studio heads at the time asked me, did I want to do Live and Let Die? And I said yes. So Parker and Alien came out of a result of almost, 25 films that I had done before. I'd done a lot of work. And so my reputation got me the film.
Dice que el rol de Parker acabase en sus manos es el resultado de Live and Let Die, de la película de Vivir o Dejar Morir. Uh-huh. Y de otras pelis que él había hecho, que es sobre todo por su reputación. Dice que de hecho que cuando el guión de Alien llegó a sus manos, él no tenía ninguna oferta para participar en la película, tenía muchas otras sobre la mesa, pero él no quería perder la oportunidad de poder estar en Alien, rechazó todas las ofertas solo para que no le llamasen para hacer Alien y que él estuviese ocupado con otras películas. Y estuvo así durante un año y dice que la oferta llegó además justo a tiempo y que bueno, que cuando hizo el Vive, Deja Morir tuvo una escena con Anthony Quinn y eso es parte de lo que engrandece su persona y Parker llegó después de más de 25 películas que ya había hecho, o sea que él cree que es sobre todo por su reputación, por su trabajo.
Muy bien. Muy bien, sin duda fue una película revolucionaria, tanto en su argumento como en su aura de misterio, donde había muchas preguntas sin respuesta, con un diseño muy próximo a lo real, siendo la época que era en su momento. ¿Recuerdas cómo viviste el rodaje de la película? ¿Tenías curiosidad sobre ella?
Alien was a revolutionary movie. The argument, the mystery surrounding it, it opened a lot of questions that had no answer, and the design was close to real, but in the moment that it was filmed. So how did you live? How did you felt the shooting, and did you have curiosity to know more?
Well, I became suspicious about the script when I discovered there were technicians and experts from Close Encounters of the Third Kind advising us and telling us about how the ship worked. The ship was, of course, a model built in the studio, but it worked. Every part of it worked. The doors that opened, the technology was in the script, and I began to wonder, where did they get all this technology from? How do they know so much about that alien and how a UFO works? And I became very suspicious. And the script, there are things in this that were in the script that were taken out of the script.
Dice que sospechaba bastante con el guión cuando vio...
¿Sí crees?
No, cuando vio especialistas y técnicos de encuentros en la tercera fase.
Ajá.
Que ahí empezó a sospechar y que de hecho la nave espacial era una maqueta totalmente funcional, que las puertas se abrían, las ventanas, no sé, que todo funcionaba. Y sus preguntas, lo que a él más le hacía sospechar o ser más curioso, era que de dónde sacan esta tecnología, cómo saben tanto de los ovnis y de los aliens y de cómo funciona todo.
Claro, hace 40 años ya, ¿eh?
Yeah, actually the movie was shot 40 years ago, and they already knew so much.
That's right. I don't know how they did it. I saw strange guys started to show up around our set. I had the feeling that someone had done this before. That's the feeling of it. And so I stopped asking questions about it because it was not something that was new to the people who made the film. I just had the feeling there was too much knowledge in it. The same people that worked on Close Encounters of the Third Kind were there on the set all the time, and that was kind of unusual because I was wondering how they, I don't want to say too much over this. I'm a little concerned about the knowledge of. Let me just put it there. The feeling I got was that we know more than what we're talking about. I certainly have experienced more about the UFOs than I will ever mention. Ever since I did that, before I did that movie, I was having experiences. I remember having a conversation when I was 10 years old with aliens. When I asked to see them, they told me the sight of us would be too much for you to take. That was when I was 10. And then all the experiences came to me when I was in Spain. I began to realize that these aliens, these UFOs, there are more of them in the skies of Spain than in the skies of America. And then my driver, Manuel, gave me a book about the astronauts who had gone back in time to see Jesus Christ. This book is in Spanish. It's in no other language. It's not in English. It's not in French. It's in Spanish. My driver gave it to me in Spain. And I had a secretary read me different parts of that book in Spain, of the astronauts who went back in time to meet Jesus at the house of Lazarus.
Wow.
When I came back from Spain, I started talking about that book. No one seemed to know anything about it. It was not in English. It's in Spanish only. And if you can't speak Spanish, you won't know what's in that book. So my sister is Spanish, and she read a lot of the parts to me. And then when I read the script, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, there are things in Close Encounters of the Third Kind that are not in the movie. They took them out. All of them. Just like they took out things from Alien.
Wow.
And so they know more about these things than they're telling. Because ever since my own personal experience and the experience with UFOs in the Alien, I've had UFOs as a common feature in my life. They sometimes follow me to different places I've been. They have been appearing. One of the houses houses that I had in the town where they shot El Cid. Every day I would leave the house and there was a cloud over my house. When I went to the castle, there was a cloud over my house. These clouded circles, I saw them first in England, around Pinewood. I saw one yesterday.
Wow.
And then when we saw them, I realized we saw one. When I say we, the people of the restaurant, my restaurant in the Philippines, we saw one as big as the Yankee Stadium turned upside down. People were waving to us from inside of it. And then in the blink of an eye, boom, it was gone. Just like that. In less than a second. That's why I wrote this book called Yaphet Kotto Alien Diaries, not to exploit this situation, but to explain my own experiences that they never leave you. Once they come in your life, they never leave you. They never leave you. You're there. You can't explain it, but they're there.
Wow. Dice que cuando estaban en rodaje había gente extraña que aparecía y te daba la sensación de que sabían más de lo que decían, que lo que estaban haciendo allí ya lo habían hecho antes. Y en ese momento él dejó de preguntar, porque ellos sabían lo que estaban haciendo y él ya en ese momento dejó de preguntar. Le pareció muy raro que los técnicos y el staff de Encuentros en la Tercera Fase estuviesen allí en el rodaje y que le pareció muy inusual. Y recalca que el sentimiento con el que se queda es que sabían mucho más de lo que contaban. Antes de la película, él ya había tenido experiencias con los ovnis y cuando tenía 10 años hizo preguntas y le dijeron no, hay cosas que no quieres saber. Hay muchos ovnis en los cielos de España, dice, mucho más que en los de América. Y que una vez su conductor, cuando estaba aquí en España, le dio un libro sobre un astronauta viajando atrás en el tiempo para ver a Jesucristo. Dice que ese libro solo está en español, no está en ningún otro idioma, ni en francés, ni en italiano, ni en inglés, solo en español. Y que si no sabes en español, pues no entiendes de qué va. Y que le pidió a su secretaria, que sabía español, que le leyese partes del libro. Y le fue leyendo partes del libro y cuando él volvió a España quería hablar sobre el libro y no encontró a nadie que supiese o que admitiese saber de lo que estaba hablando. Dice que hay muchas similitudes entre este libro y el guión de Encuentros en la Tercera Fase, cosas que estaban en guión pero que no llegaron a verse en la película, igual que pasó en Alien, escenas que luego no llegaron a la película por el motivo que sea. Y es que dice que saben mucho más de lo que quieren contar. Los ovnis son parte de su vida, aparecen de vez en cuando, él los va viendo. De hecho, tenía una casa en la que cada vez que salía de casa había un círculo de nubes encima de la casa, en Pinewood creo que mencionaba, igual que pasaba en el castillo de Drácula de aquí. Y de hecho dice que vio un ovni ayer. Dice que nosotros, y explica que nosotros es toda la gente de su restaurante que tiene en Filipinas, vieron uno del tamaño del estadio de los Yankees, boca abajo, y que cuando salieron para verlo, en un segundo había volado. Que ha escrito un libro que se llama Alien Diaries, el diario de aliens o crónicas de alien, no sé cómo se traduce aquí, en el que cuenta sus propias experiencias, que son experiencias que nunca te dejan, es algo que no puedes explicar, pero que ahí está.
Ostras, no sabía, señor Kotto, en toda esa... ¿Cómo explicarlo? ¿Cómo preguntarlo? ¿Cómo decirlo? Toda la aura de los ovnis era algo que no desconocía. No, es un mundo que no he llegado a verlo ni a tratarlo, pero bueno, admiro que tengas esas oportunidades y las respeto totalmente. Y gracias por contárnoslas, que eso no son cosas que siempre es bueno saber. La siguiente pregunta que quería hacerle, señor Kotto, era si recordaba alguna anécdota de ese rodaje, algo que tengas con mucha nostalgia.
Luis says that he didn't know about all this mystery and aura regarding your experiences with UFOs, and he's grateful for you to share, because it sounds super interesting, and wow, that's something we really need to take out, and we'll make sure to read your book. It's amazing that even you ended up in the movie after all these experiences, so it was like the role was for you. And is there any anecdote, any experience or story from the shooting that you remember most?
I've written a book called Yaphet Kotto Alien Diaries, where many of my experiences are in the book. I don't want to talk about too many of them now over this internet thing, because I'm a little paranoid about saying too much about the existence of these people. What I will tell you is that we have to come to the recognition that they're here. They're here, and we have to understand that they do not mean this planet or any of our people any harm. They don't want to. The prime directive is this: they will not interfere or try to change or do anything that would bring about change as a result of their actions or thoughts. That's up to us. So I don't want to say too much about them. Usually when I talk to people about them, that person that is sincere will have an experience. So I don't have to say anything much about them, about where they come from, what they do, and who they are. I'm not afraid of any of our government, because I've had assurances from them when I experienced them that if anyone should try to do anything to me because of my relationship with them, they will be removed from this planet. So I try to not offend any government agents who are aware of the fact that I've had this experience. And at the same time, I'm not going to say that much to disclose anything to make them feel uptight. But what I would say to you is this: they exist. And if your head is in the right place, you think the right thoughts, they're going to show up. And you won't be able to stop them from showing up. It depends upon where your head is at. Apparently, they showed up when I was 9, 11, 12, 13. They told me who my wife was going to be before I got married. They let me know they're there. From the time I'm in my 70s now, and from the time that I was 9 or 10 years old, at various periods of my life, they dramatically made it clear that we're here. I don't believe these movies I was given had anything to do with me. I think those movies that I was in were for a purpose. And some of those purposes are whoever I talk to. I want to assure you that they're here, that there is such a thing as God, but they're here. They're here. And the government knows they're here. Every government, every country knows that they're here. Why they don't tell you guys or the rest of us, or the rest of our people, I don't know. But they're here, and they mean us no harm.
Okay, so dice que en su libro hay muchas anécdotas, pero no quiere hablar mucho sobre eso. Dice que le da respeto. Lo que tenemos que reconocer es que están aquí y que no nos quieren hacer daño, no quieren intervenir, no quieren... Todo lo que pase depende de nosotros y que realmente no quiere hablar mucho sobre el tema. Básicamente, bueno, cuando habla con gente diferente sobre esto, dice que suelen acabar teniendo experiencias relacionadas y que no quiere hablar de ellos, pero no tiene miedo a los gobiernos. Simplemente no quiere hablar demasiado para que no les echen de nuestro planeta y que no quiere ofender a ninguna agencia gubernamental de ningún tipo, pero existen. Y el hecho es que existen. Que tenemos que saberlo, tenemos que ser conscientes. Y dice que si tienes la cabeza en tu sitio, ellos aparecerán, que depende de ti. Él los ha visto con 9, con 10, con 11, con 12, con 13, que incluso le dijeron quién sería su mujer. Y que ahora que tiene más de 70, pero desde siempre le han hecho saber que ellos están aquí. Y que cualquier gobierno, que todos los gobiernos del mundo lo saben. Y que tenemos que hacer lo posible por intentar contactar con ellos o saber que están aquí.
Muy bien. Señor Kotto, si nos vamos 40 años atrás, en el momento en el que estabas allí rodando con Ridley Scott, con Sigourney Weaver, ¿recuerdas alguna escena allí, algún momento gracioso, algo que recuerdes?
If we go 40 years back in the shooting with Sigourney Weaver, with Ridley Scott, do you remember any funny anecdote or story regarding the shooting that you can and want to share?
Not really. There's so many experiences that I've had with Sigourney and others, and other than to say that we got along very well. We're good friends, then and now. So I can't remember any one specific thing that stands out. All of it is like one long mishmash of different things said. That was a very emotionally, it was a very emotional experience for me doing that movie, particularly in the chest burster scene. We were all so frightened of it, and I thought maybe I should go back to classical acting. But no, I can't remember any one specific thing because the whole thing was emotional charge and left me with a lot of emotional feelings, but I can't think of any one specific thing that stands out.
Dice que consiguió muy bien, que se llevaba muy bien con todos, pero no recuerda nada específico que compartir, era toda una sola experiencia. No hay...
Let me just say this, the only thing I do remember is the fact that we had these, what would appear like phosphorus clouds over our house and I knew it was when I first saw that experience. I never knew what that circle of cloud over my house looked like. But the time we saw the big one, the mothership, when it left a circle of cloud around the house. And then I said, oh, so that's what those clouds are. That's not a real cloud. That's not. It's, for some reason, I think the condition of the ship or whatever, they leave a circle of what looks like a cloud, a sting donut-shaped cloud. I saw that in Spain. I saw that in England when we were shooting Alien, and that's the one thing that stands out in my mind. Excuse me for cutting you off, but that's the one thing that stands out.
No, that's amazing. It's, dice que eso, que no recuerda nada específico que compartir, pero justo ahora ha dicho que sí que hay una cosa que quiere compartir, y es que las nubes sobre su casa, él nunca sabía por qué eran. Él solo veía el círculo de nubes y no sabía de qué venían. Dice que cuando vio la nave, cómo se iba y cómo dejaba ese círculo de nubes, dice, vale, por eso son las nubes. O sea, ese círculo de nubes viene a raíz de esto. Nunca lo supo hasta que vio ese momento.
Interesante.
Bueno, y dice que que toda la película para él fue una experiencia muy, muy emocional. Uh-huh. Y que recuerda que en el momento en que el alien sale del pecho, que sí que era un momento en el que estaban todos como muy asustados.
Mira, justo esa escena es la que ahora iba a comentar. El otro día en el Festival de Sitges, no sé si lo has conocido, emitieron allí un documental que se ha hecho este año. Se llama Memory y se basa en los orígenes de la película Alien. En él hablan de cómo surgió la idea, de cómo Dan O'Bannon llegó a establecer el guión con Ronald Shusett, de hecho, y también hablaban un poco de las curiosidades de la película, del rodaje. Y en una sí que hicieron mucha mención, fue en la cena, cuando aparece el Chessbuster, que según se tenía entendido, Ridley Scott no os quiso contar nada de lo que iba a pasar allí. Pero bueno, según el documental sí que se pudo ver que algo sí sabíais, también que hacían un olor muy insoportable. ¿Qué recuerdas de esa escena? Como bien decías, el miedo que generó, pero ¿cómo viviste ese día?
Regarding to the Chessbuster scene that you mentioned, US was in the Festival of Sitges the other day. I don't know if you know the festival. But they showed a documentary about the origins of Alien called Memory. And in this documentary, they speak about how the idea of the script and idea of the movie came to life. And they also talk about some curiosities in the shooting. In this documentary, there's this dinner scene with the Chessbuster, just when Hart is eating happily and he has this stomach ache. It was spoke. Well, they told that Scott wanted to keep the secret, so you didn't know a lot of the scene, but you knew something about it. Is it right? You can tell us about that scene, what you knew and what you don't?
Well, I really don't want to get into that. I mean, again, I'd rather not say how I knew it. I don't want people to think I'm crazy. So I'd rather not say. What I will say is this. When I was about 21 years of age, I went to the actor's studio to try to get in. I got in, but before I went there, I went to another place called the Actors Mobile Theater to learn acting.
The actors?
Listen to me. And when I got into the building, I had an appointment at 3 o'clock in the morning. In the afternoon. And the woman told me, have a seat. and the director will be out to see you. I sat down. It was just the two of us. And then at one point, I heard a voice in my head say, the woman that comes through the door, the next woman that comes through the door will be your wife. I looked around. I didn't see a radio. There was no one else in the room but me and the secretary. I couldn't imagine where that voice would have come from, except that I heard that same voice when I was 10. The door opened, and a woman came into my life and walked into the studio. She was one of the actresses there. Years later, I got married to that woman, and I didn't realize that I was told who was going to come into my life before I even knew her or saw her. Something very similar happened to me when I started to do Alien. I had a similar experience. As I told you, I had an experience with them when I was 9. When they started to talk to me in my head, and I answered them back, and I asked, can I see you? When will I see you? And they said to me, no, the sight of us would be too much for you to take. So the reason why I keep saying this, because there's certain things about Alien I'll talk about, and there's certain things I will never talk about because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to capitalize, push myself, make myself more important. I will say it again. Even this gentleman who's talked to, even Juan, Señor, you will, if you keep going down this road, this curiosity, the mere fact that you're talking to me means that you've already started the close encounter. That's how it starts. First you read about them, then you hear about them, the second encounter, and then the close encounter is, then you meet them. So that's what close encounters of the third kind now are. One, I would suspect, is on one of the first 2 steps. By seeing that movie, by being curious, by having asked these questions, it means that they are motivating him to want to find out more. And he's going to find, even after this phone call, he's going to find out more. I'm sure that you must ask him, and when he experiences that, please tell him to let me know exactly what he experiences, because that's the feeling I'm getting as I'm talking to him on the phone.
Dice que prefiere no hablar mucho sobre cómo supo del guión de la película, porque no quiere que nadie piense que está loco. A los 21 años él tenía una cita en un estudio. Antes fue a un edificio, no he conseguido entender el nombre, pero a las 3 de la tarde él tenía una cita y cuando llegó le pidieron esperar. Y la secretaria le pidió sentarse y estaban solo ellos dos. Estaban sentados y de repente oyó una voz en su cabeza que decía: la siguiente mujer que entre por la puerta será tu mujer. Él dice que estuvo mirando a ver si había una radio, a ver si había lo que fuese, pero no, estaban los dos solos y no había nadie más. Esa es la misma voz que escuchó cuando tenía 10 años. Años después se casó con esa mujer. Alguien ya le había dicho quién sería ella antes de que ni siquiera él la hubiese conocido. Dice que tuvo una experiencia parecida con alguien. Cuando a los 9 años pudo oírles y contestarles, les pidió si podía verlos. Y ellos le dijeron que la visión de nosotros es demasiado para ti. No quiere que digan que se aprovecha o que se quiere dar importancia o que se quiere dar más nombre o lo que sea, pero es la regla del tercer encuentro, ¿no? Primero les oyes, primero ves las señales, luego les oyes y luego les conoces. Creo que era eso, era así. Y dice que ellos, que en cuanto empiezas a oír hablar de ellos, la siguiente fase ya es oírles a ellos. Entonces que probablemente nosotros después de hablar con él vamos a tener experiencias y que él quiere que las compartamos y que le expliquemos qué ocurre.
Cuenta con ellos si las llegamos a tener. no dudes que os lo haremos saber.
If we ever have experiences similar to what you are sharing with us today, we will make sure to let you know, and most likely to ask for advice on that.
Muy bien. Bueno, no comentabas que no querías comentar lo de la escena. Lo único que sí que me chocó y nos hizo mucha gracia al público, porque era algo que no sabíamos. En la misma escena, después de que salga el chestbuster de Hart, Verónica, que es cuando le salpica la sangre del todo el jaleo, ella se cayó para atrás y eso no se veía en la película, pero bueno, sí que se consiguió ver en una pequeña escena que pasa muy rápido. Supongo que todo eso fue un momento de mucha, ¿cómo decirlo?, ¿no? Mucha expectación, mucho miedo sobre todo, porque también era algo desconocido, no sabíais que iba a aparecer por allí. Pero bueno, recuerdas, supongo, todo eso de allí, ¿no?
Okay, so we won't make any questions regarding things like how you did know the scene before, but in the same scene, Veronica, after the chestbuster comes out, she fell onto the floor because, well, it's a funny moment when you know all the things that are behind that scene, and you didn't know how it was going to smell or what was exactly going to happen, but that was quite an experience, right? Like all that scene was, how was shooting the scene?
It was very bloody because of all the stuff they had inside of the alien. The crew was covered with various smocks. The walls were covered with various cloths. We didn't know it was going to be, we were going to be showered in blood and guts from, I guess, animals, animal guts and animal stuff. It was real. That's the part that was shocking, the blood that came out of it. The whole walls and the ceiling were covered with blood.
Okay. Dice que para él fue una escena muy, muy sangrienta, que todo el equipo estaba cubierto con sangre, con vísceras, las paredes. Ellos no sabían que les iban a duchar con sangre y vísceras, y dice que eran reales, o sea que probablemente sería de animales, y eso es lo que más les chocó, de repente estar realmente cubiertos de sangre.
Muy bien. Luego teníais por allí al señor Bolaji Badejo, que es el que se puso el traje de Alien. ¿Recuerdas tratar con él? ¿Os separaban para tener mayor impacto cuando vierais el Alien?
How was the experience of seeing Bolaji Badejo with the suit of Alien? Did you have the chance to see him, or you were separated so you wouldn't see the aliens?
Oh, no, he's an African, you know, and we spent a lot of time together off camera when we weren't working. In fact, I tried to tell him to take the damn thing off his head because he was sweating up a lot in it, and he was miserable in wearing this thing. So you know, he was a very nice man. We got along very well. Some reporters have tried to say that there was tensions between us, but there wasn't. They don't know what you're talking about. So no, we spent a lot of time together. Some of the cast members were getting sick from wearing those space suits, and he was very, very uncomfortable and very hot in that damn thing, and he was always taking it off because it was hard to wear that thing for hours, especially on those lights. So we spent a lot of time together. He was a very nice man.
Dice que él, como son los dos africanos, estuvieron muchísimo tiempo juntos detrás de las cámaras, que se llevaban muy bien, y que el señor Kotto le decía que se quitase la cabeza porque sudaba un montón y hasta se ponía casi enfermo de llevar el traje. Dice que algunos reporteros han intentado decir que había tensión entre ellos, pero dice que no es verdad, nunca la ha habido, y que de hecho pasaban mucho tiempo cuando no estaban delante de las cámaras, que pasaban mucho tiempo juntos. Dice que el señor Bolaji tenía muchísimo calor y estaba súper incómodo con el traje de alien. Era muy difícil de llevar, era muy incómodo. Ellos habían tenido los trajes espaciales, pero sobre todo debajo de aquellas luces lo pasaba muy mal.
De hecho, tenemos una compañera que también tiene un traje de alien y ya nos cuenta, ya no es un traje igual, pero cuando lo usa para ir a eventos lo pasa mal porque pesa, le hace calor. Entiendo mucho a Bolaji.
Juiz belongs to a cosplay group, and they do like Comic-Cons, but not Comic-Cons, just like for movies. I don't know the name for that, but they had one of the members that she has also a suit of alien, and she shares how difficult it is to wear it because it weighs a lot and it's super hot. So he can relate to what you're telling.
Right, exactly. Those things are heavy duty on the body. If you only wear them, we got a lot of us through getting sick wearing those things who had to wear them, and very heavy duty.
Dice que muchos de ellos se ponían enfermos de llevar el traje y que es un heavy duty, ¿no? Que es un trabajo muy complicado, muy arduo.
Muy bien. Señor Kotto, en la película, tu compañero de trabajo, el fallecido también Harry Dean Stanton, que en paz descanse también, fuisteis una pareja en la película que le dio un toque más cómico, pero a la vez también tratasteis un tema laboral que en su época y hoy día sigue igual. ¿Qué recuerdos tienes sobre nuestro querido Stanton?
Your companion, the deceased Harry Dean Stanton, and you were the couple that gave the comic approach to the movie, if there is any word at all, but yeah. And you spoke about the laboral conditions of the moment that nowadays is still the same. What memories do you have from our dear Stanton?
Oh, gee, I've known Harry for years. My memories of him goes all the way back to Jack Nicholson and Marlon Brando. We've known each other for years as New York actors, film actors. Harry was in love with Sigourney, and he mooned over her. But Harry's been a friend of mine for years. I miss Harry. He went back to God, so he's with God now, and maybe reincarnated soon. But my memories of Harry are just, you don't have enough time for me to talk about how well I knew my friend Harry Dean.
Dice que a Harry Dean le conoce desde hace muchos años. Desde Jack Nicholson, ellos eran actores de Nueva York, entonces se conocen un montón. Y lo que nos puede decir es que estaba súper enamorado, súper colgado de Sigourney Weaver. Y que dice, bueno, ahora está con Dios, ya pasa una mejor vida, pero que a lo mejor se reencarnará pronto. Pero que no hay tiempo suficiente en el mundo para que nos cuente todo lo que recuerda de Harry Dean Stanton.
Muy bien. Bueno, luego está el personaje en la película Alien, Ash, que lo interpreta Ian Holm. Hizo un trabajo increíble porque tenía que hacernos creer que era humano y a vosotros también. ¿Cómo sentiste? Es decir, tú llegaste a odiar al personaje, no a Ian Holm, por todo lo que hizo en la película.
Regarding the character Ash, Ian Holm made a great job interpreting the role in the character, as he had to make us believe he was human, and you had the chance to kill him. how did you feel? Did you also hate the character? Talking about Ash, of course, not Ian Holm.
Well, I didn't hate the character. I hated the fact that the Wayland Corporation would put a robot in our midst to guarantee that that alien would be kept intact and brought back to Earth, regardless of what happened to the human beings. So there was a contempt for life on the part of corporations who think that way. We are experiencing the fact that corporations don't care about us. High-tech corporations care about their machines. They care about their technology, but they don't care about flesh and blood. So I feel that unless we do something to bring the makers of these techniques that we get from Silicon Valley, we will be experiencing ashes. We will be experiencing robots. And the robots won't give a damn of whether we live or die. This is real, man. It's coming. It's here. Look at what we're doing. We're talking I'm talking to Spain, and Spain is talking to Asia as if you're in the next room. And these machines that we're using, they're taking it all in. This computer is taking it all in. Your computer's taking it all in, and understanding and feeling the way they feel, and they're measuring us as to what we say and do. And there was going to come to the day, a point when they were going to tell us what to do. I mean, this phone call is by audio, but it could very well have been by visual.
Yeah. Dice que no odiaba a Ash en sí, sino odiaba el hecho de que la Wayland Yutani pusiese un robot entre ellos para capturar al alien intacto, sin importar lo que pudiese pasar con los humanos de a bordo. Dice que las grandes empresas de tecnología les importan más las máquinas y la tecnología que la propia carne y la propia sangre de todos los humanos. Pero que esto, dice, ya tenemos un Silicon Valley, la tecnología se está desarrollando y vamos a experimentar ashes, vamos a tener ashes entre nosotros, va a pasar, o sea, lo estamos haciendo posible y está aquí, va a ocurrir. Estamos hablando, por ejemplo, hoy entre España y Asia, como si estuviésemos en la habitación de al lado.
Sí.
Y esto es una llamada de teléfono, pero perfectamente podría ser una llamada de vídeo. Y nos parece tan normal. Tenemos a los computadores midiéndonos, haciendo nuestro trabajo, que vendrá el día en que nos dirán qué hacer y va a pasar.
Sí. Llega la escena final, que es, al menos todos los espectadores queremos que os vais a salvar Lambert, Ripley y tú, pero se va todo al garete y termináis en manos de alguien. ¿Recuerdas cómo fue ese momento en el que Lambert y tú morís?
In the final scene, we all believe that you, Lambert, and Ripley are going to be saved, but everything goes bad and you end up dead by the alien. How was the shooting of that scene?
It was okay. It worked. It was just another scene. I didn't think much of it. When you're making movies, it's not like I'm a stage actor from New York City. You can judge your performance by the reaction of the audience all during the show. When you're making a movie, each scene is hard technically. And the normal responses that you would get from an audience, you don't get at all. So you can't measure you can't say, oh, this scene was good, this scene was bad. You can only know that you accomplished, that it's over with. So the ending for me was just another scene. It had no emotional impact on me, except for the fact that I didn't like seeing that alien as much as I did. So it had no feeling. It was such a technical thing. You can't stand here because the special effect is going to be there. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's so highly technical. I think the accomplishment of the actor in those kinds of movies is to keep your mouth shut and try to get out of the technical aspect of it. Let the special effects people do their thing, which is a great deal more than what you've got to do, and then performing it, and hope that all the technical aspects go right so the scene is over with. So you leave each scene. If you want to feel gratification for acting, go on the stage. If you want to be a technician using your emotional skills to balance with what you see going on around you, stay in movies. But if you want the feeling of what it is to do a scene and say, oh, well, that scene went well, I'm happy about it, go back to the stage.
Dice que, bueno, que es una escena como otra cualquiera, que cuando estás haciendo una película, la escena es, sobre todo este tipo de películas, es una escena altamente técnica. Tú no es como cuando estás en un teatro o en un escenario que tienes el público para darte, como si dijésemos el ok con su reacción. Simplemente es un momento técnico en el que tú tienes que hacer tu trabajo y él opina que debe permanecer, o sea, que un actor debe permanecer callado y hacer su trabajo mientras la gente de efectos especiales hace el suyo. Esto, así que no tiene ningún componente emocional más allá de hacer tu trabajo bien en una escena altamente técnica. Vio al alien más que en cualquier otro momento, pero nada más que eso. Si quieres una gratificación o algo mucho más emocional por actuar, tienes que volver a los escenarios, no quedarte en las películas.
Claro. Supongo que habrás visto el éxito que ha dado esta película, que han hecho varias secuelas. ¿Te hubiese gustado continuar con tu personaje, que no hubiese muerto?
After seeing, of course you knew beforehand how your character was going to end, but after seeing all the success of all this saga, after all the sequels and after all it has achieved, would you have liked that your character was not killed and that your character had a role in the next movies?
Listen, I don't know how much. One of the things I like about Spain is that I was standing outside the studio one day, and these kids jumped off the bus in Spain, 100 of them, and they were running towards me with autographed pens. And I was so proud. I said, oh, my God, look at all these Spanish children. They're not racist, they're not prejudiced, or they want my autograph. I said, and so my driver, Manuel, said to me, he says, Santa Claus in Spain is black. And the costume I was wearing was an ancient genie, you know. So, I didn't experience any, in Malagua, Granada, Madrid, no racial experience. Now, why do I say that? When a black man gets a script, I don't care what movie it is or who that black man is, no matter how cool and intellectual that he is, you know damn well in your heart that character is going to die, okay?
Oh.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he does, what he says. In every single movie, the black guy dies. And Running Man, I die. And all the other movies I did, as soon as the black man is cool, he dies at the end. So when I got Alien, they told me about it. It wasn't any surprise. Parker's going to die at the end. So I wasn't surprised. It's the same thing in every movie when it comes to an African American.
Dice que lo que le gusta de España, por ejemplo, es que una vez estando fuera del estudio, salieron unos niños corriendo de un autobús en dirección a él para pedirle su autógrafo y él estaba flipando, él estaba encantado y además iba disfrazado como de genio asiático y estaba rodando aquí y le encanta que en España no hay ningún tipo de experiencia racial en este sentido, pero que en las pelis, si un hombre negro mola un poco, sabes que va a morir. O sea, sabes que sí o sí el hombre negro es el que muere. En Running Man, en todas las pelis que ha hecho, muere.
Sí, eso es verdad.
That is so true.
Bueno, supongo que han pasado 40 años y ves que la saga Alien sigue más viva que nunca. De hecho, se han hecho 2 películas ahora recientemente. ¿Cómo has vivido en este tiempo, a diferencia de otras películas, todo este universo de Alien?
So it's already 40 years from the first Alien movie, but recently we've had all the sequels, and it looks like nowadays the Alien saga is more alive than ever. What feeling do you have about this? Is it different right now than some years ago?
Years ago, it was real acting. It was real acting. It was real strips. I did a movie, Blue Collar, real acting. Report to the Commissioner, real acting. Across the 110th Street, real acting. Now, there's no more real acting. It's all about CPI, CTS, EQQ, RR. It's explosions, bombs, things going off. There's no real relationships on screen anymore. I've written a script called The Witchcraft Wars. It's a sci-fi script. I'm going to produce it. It's real acting in it. But other than that, I mean, there's no real acting going on. There's no more Brewbakers. There's no more On the Waterfronts. There's no more Streetcar Named Desires. There's not even a good Godfather. There's nothing. It's all tricks. And all the people in this business think they're actors. They're not. What they are reactors, not actors. And CGI with reactors. And looks. And hairstyles. And smiles. But no acting anymore. There's no moments. There's nothing. Just say a few words, and cut to the next guy, and they shoot the gun and fall down. There's no acting anymore. These are not movies for acting. They don't need actors. They just know. They need people who look good, look to the left, look to the right, and that's it.
Dice que bueno, que hace años el acting era de verdad. Ahora, a día de hoy ya no. Antes tú veías las relaciones, tú veías los sentimientos, veías las caras, y el acting era real. Ahora, a día de hoy todo es digital, explosiones, cosas que vuelan, cosas que... él está escribiendo un guión que también lo va a producir, un guión de ciencia ficción, que se llama Witchcraft algo, no he entendido muy bien el nombre, y va a ser con acting real, con el acting... de verdad, sin tanto CGI, sin tanta tontería. Dice que a día de hoy ya no están esos momentos, no necesitan actores reales, lo que necesitan es una persona que se vea bien y ahora mira a la derecha, ahora la mira a la izquierda, ahora mira aquí, ahora mira allá y venga, ahora ya hemos grabado contigo, que venga el siguiente y montamos la escena.
Bueno, los tiempos se están cambiando, es verdad, todo se va modernizando. Bueno, como esto no podemos alargarlo mucho más, termino con 2 cosas. señor Kotto. Una, para mí, soy también un seguidor mucho de Arnold Schwarzenegger y verlo en la película Perseguido de Running Man fue una sorpresa, la verdad. Cuando vi, ostras, mira, señor Kotto, está aquí. ¿Qué tal fue? ¿Nos podrías hacer una breve explicación de lo que fue el rodaje de esta película?
So, Luis says that times are changing, and you are completely right. But well, I think we have to do what we can about it. But so we don't want to make this any longer. So we're just going to ask two more questions. One is that Luis saw that you were. He's a great fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger as well, and when he saw you in Running Man, he was very surprised. How did you like the shooting of Running Man?
I didn't like it. We had problems. The first director, I can't even remember his name now. I tried to warn him that he was going to be fired, and he didn't listen to me because he was shooting all the wrong scenes. He was shooting the talking scenes. And if you're an actor or a director and you shoot the talking scenes, you're sure to be kicked out of there. You're not going to last. Because the people who green-lighted the script in the first place, they don't come in to see talking scenes. They come in to see explosions and murder, violence, rape, whatever action. And he wouldn't shoot the action. He kept shooting the talking scenes, which were important scenes. And I told him, I went to his room, and I said, they're gonna kick you out of here, man. You gotta shoot some action between me and Arnold. Oh, Yaphet, you don't know what you're saying. You know, they understand the way I work. I said, okay. Went to bed. Next morning, got up, fired. You shoot him in the action.
Well,
then they brought in another actor who shot all the action scenes. He was looked upon as a hero. So that was my experience with The Running Man. I didn't really like making that movie, but I had to do it because it was in the genre of where I wanted to go. And so I needed to make another movie that was in the same action-adventure genre to keep myself, my profile up. And to also help my bankability around the world, which is the reason why I did Freddy's Dead. That was another horror movie. So now people in Spain, Germany, France, Spain, all over the world know me. So when the day comes when I produce, I can go back to those countries and make deals to make the movies I want to kind of make. Movies that have acting in it with actors, not a movie about things and special effects. You know, if I wanted to do that, I should have become a CGI expert. I'd be making a fortune out of just owning and operating CGI. But Running Man was not a good experience for me. I like Arnold, but the movie was not where I wanted to go. So I didn't pay it any attention.
Dice que no le gustó para nada el rodaje de la película. Que bueno, que el primer director, que ni se acuerda de su nombre, que ya sabía que lo iban a echar, porque en vez de rodar escenas de acción entre Arnold Schwarzenegger y él, solo hacía escenas de hablar, que están muy bien y que son muy importantes, pero si es una película de acción y la gente va a venir al cine a ver explosiones, rueda más películas de acción. Y que él fue al director y le dijo, tío, tienes que rodar algo de acción entre Arnold y yo, porque te van a echar. Y bueno, tal, no sé qué, bla, 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 y al día siguiente lo echaron. Y que bueno, que él no le estaba molando, pero bueno, tenía que hacer películas del género para el día que él quiera producir o que se le siga conociendo en varios países, para el día que él quiera dar el paso, pues que tenga esa oportunidad, pero que no le gustó nada el rodaje y tampoco se fijó mucho, así que tampoco tiene mucho que contar.
Muy bien, muchas
pero
gracias.
Que le gusta mucho a Arnold Schwarzenegger, a pesar de
Muy bien.
la experiencia.
Y normalmente, Kotto, siempre termino con una última pregunta a todos los actores que voy entrevistando de Aliens. Imagínate que te estás entrevistando a ti mismo. ¿Qué pregunta te harías?
So there is the last question that Luis likes to do to all the actors that he interviews. And it's just, if you were interviewing yourself, what is the question that you would ask yourself?
Why am I not living in Spain?
Okay, dice que ¿por qué no está viviendo en España? You told us that you couldn't make it possible to make Spain your home, and why is that? Porque no
You know, when I came to Spain, the women, the most beautiful women in the world, are in Spain. I realized that the women we see on these magazines and Good Housekeeping and Mademoiselle, they use people don't realize they use the Spanish woman as a prototype for beauty. So when I got to Spain, I said, my God, this country is made up of models. And I said, well, no, it's not. It's the look, the Spanish look. And then I realized that when you leave Spain, if you should meet a Spanish woman, there's no way she's ever going to leave Spain. Consequently, very few people in other countries have neighbors who are Spanish. I didn't realize that. I went around and said, do you know many Spanish people? And they think a little bit and they say, come to think of it, no, I just know one person. The Spanish people don't come to the rest of these countries and move in and marry Americans and all this business. Europeans, they stay in Spain, the country of the female, the mother. And when you go to Spain, you don't understand that until you've been in Spain. So the question is, if I had to ask myself a question, when are you going to live and work in Spain? Because I never should have left that country when I had an opportunity. In fact, this is literally how bad it got. After Harim with Omar Sharif and Ava Gardner was difficult over, I stayed in Spain another 4 months. The producers of CBS had to come and get me out of Spain. Where's Kotto? He said he's still there. So they flew in. They came. He's like, you gotta leave. You gotta come out. It's over with. And so I reluctantly got on an airplane and left Madrid, which was a big mistake. I should have bought a house and stayed there. It is the most beautiful country in the world. Diaz, you are lucky, man. You're in the most beautiful country in the world with the most beautiful women in the world. And don't leave there. Stay right where you are.
Dice que la pregunta que se haría a sí mismo es ¿por qué no vives? ¿Dónde te gustaría vivir? ¿Por qué no vives en España y por qué no lo has conseguido? Dice que las mujeres más guapas del mundo son españolas. Dice que en todas las revistas, en todas las revistas de moda, las de bellezas, no sé qué, utilizan a la mujer española como prototipo de belleza. Y que es algo que no te das cuenta y que no entiendes hasta que llegas aquí. Y de repente dices, hoy estoy en un país de supermodelos. Y dice que ese look español para él es el prototipo absoluto de belleza. Y que de hecho a los españoles no nos gusta irnos de nuestro país porque es el país más bonito del mundo. Y que un día se dio cuenta que nadie tiene un vecino español. Y lo fue comentando con gente en plan, ¿conoces a algún español? Bueno, no solo conozco a uno, pero nadie tiene un español por vecino porque no nos vamos a vivir a otros países. Y que de hecho mucha gente de Europa se viene a vivir a España. Dice que después de la película con Ava Gardner y con Omar Sharif, que se quedó 4 meses más, los productores de la CBS vinieron a buscarle diciendo que, o sea, ¿dónde está el señor Kotto? ¿Dónde está el señor Kotto? Y vinieron a por él y entonces ya se tuvo que subir a regañadientes a un avión y que dejó Madrid. Y dice que fue un error total y que nunca deberíamos dejar nuestro país y que tenemos mucha suerte de tener el país más bonito del mundo.
Muchas gracias, señor Kotto. Muchas gracias por esta oportunidad. Para nosotros es realmente un placer. Somos fans y lo hacemos para los fans. Y así de esta forma pues mantenemos un poco más la flama de este universo. Agradecemos mucho, sobre todo también para los fans que hablan español, que no sí que hay entrevistas, pero son en inglés. Y esta por lo menos será en español, traducida. Y nada, simplemente pues darle las gracias por todo tu tiempo y esta oportunidad.
So thank you very much, Mr. Kotto, for being today with us. It was a real pleasure for us to come with you and to be with you today, to keep on the spark of the alien universe among fans. especially for the community of Spanish-speaking fans, that there are, of course, interviews with you, but all of them in English, and at least this one is translated so they can hear firsthand about your experiences and about you. So thank you very much for your time today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. What is your name?
I'm Sofia, and he's Luis.
Yes.
Thank you, Sofia, and thank you, Luis. Muchas gracias.
Thanks to you.
Muchas gracias, señor Kotto.
Gracias.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Goodbye.
Okay.